you've been bagging your clippings for a lie. If you've been bagging your grass clippings because someone told you they cause thatch, stop right there. Because clippings are almost never the cause. And every time you bag them, you're throwing away a free fertilizer application you already paid for with your time and fuel. Let's start with what thatch actually is, because most people have this completely wrong. Thatch is that spongy brown layer sitting between your green blades and the soil surface, built almost entirely from dead roots, stems, and crowns, tough, fibrous plant tissue that genuinely resists decomposition. That's the key word, resistant. Grass clippings are the biological opposite of that description. They're roughly 90% water and soft leaf tissue. University Extension turf research has consistently found that clippings left on the lawn break down within 1 to 2 weeks under normal growing conditions and contribute essentially nothing. Thatch buildup. The thing that started this myth was probably someone noticing thatch existed and clippings existed at the same time, and connecting two things that simply don't have that relationship. So what actually causes real thatch? Overwatering that starves soil of oxygen and slows the microbial activity responsible for breaking plant material down. Excessive fast-release synthetic nitrogen that pushes new growth faster than soil biology can process. Soil compaction severe enough that decomposition simply cannot keep pace with incoming organic matter. None of those causes have any connection to whether you bagged your clippings last Tuesday or the Tuesday before that. The myth got repeated confidently enough and often enough that it became assumed knowledge, and the bag became a permanent fixture on mowers that would perform better without it attached. Here's exactly what leaves with every bag you haul to the curb. A mowed lawn's clippings return somewhere between 1 and 1.5 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet back into your soil across a full growing season. That covers a genuinely meaningful portion of your annual feeding requirement for the cost of doing absolutely nothing extra beyond what you were already doing. This practice has a formal name, grass cycling. Extension programs have recommended it for years, not as a lawn care shortcut or a hack, but as documented standard practice backed by decades of university turf research that most homeowners never see because it never made it onto the bag of fertilizer they were already buying. The only real rule mirrors the rule for everything else in mowing. Don't allow grass to grow so tall between cuts that you're leaving thick clumps sitting on the surface, smothering the turf underneath them. That's a mowing frequency problem, not a clippings problem. Follow the 1/3 rule. Never remove more than 1/3 of the blade height in a single cut. And the clippings produced at that length filter down through the canopy to the soil surface and disappear within days without any intervention. Visible clumps sitting on your lawn after mowing are almost always signaling one of two things. Your blade needs sharpening, or you waited too long between cuts. Neither of those solutions involves attaching the bag. Try one simple test before you decide anything. Leave the clippings down for 1 full month without changing anything else about your routine. No additional fertilizer applications, no adjusted watering schedule, no other variables. A significant number of people who run this exact experiment notice their lawn gets visibly greener during that period. Not messier, not thatchier. Noticeably greener is doing precisely what nitrogen does when grass actually needs it. The bag made sense as a convenience tool for specific situations. It became a mandatory weekly habit built on a cause and effect relationship that turf science doesn't support. You've likely been performing extra physical work, purchasing more fertilizer than your lawn actually required, and hauling clippings away from the exact soil that needed them returned the whole time. If this is genuinely the first time you're hearing what actually builds thatch and it wasn't what you were told, drop that in the comments and tell me whether the bag is coming off this weekend.